This is awesome. Anyway, how many people here feel like you're going through a battle? Good. Doesn't it feel sometimes instead of going from glory to glory, we keep going from battle to battle? Is it just me, or does it feel that way? It feels like every time that we get a breakthrough, we have something that is trying to break you. You know? I don't know if it's just me, and if from the show of hands, it seems like that is exactly how life is right now. You know? That we feel like we're getting through something, and then something else is just right behind it, getting ready to knock us down or something like that. And this has nothing to do with my sermon, but I remember the Christian comedian. I think his name's John. Is it John Christ? I don't know. He's got a whole skit where talking about not every battle or not every time that we go through something is it actually the devil trying to come after us. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm on a diet and I showed up for work and they brought donuts. Satan, get behind me, not today. We get all like that. And he has this whole skit where, and I love it because it's like he's saying, not everything is the devil. He has limited demons. When they were cast out, they got other things going on. So it's not just always that he's coming after us, because let's face it, I can sit there and say, not today, Satan, but am I doing enough realistically where he has sent somebody to try to stop me? A lot of times it's us, right? It's the situations that we put ourselves into. It's the battles that we are trying to go through, and we're trying to just battle every single battle, right? And so when I was thinking about this, I was reminded of when I was younger, so many years ago when I was younger, that I laugh at it. You're going, why you be laughing too? You might not. But I thought of this sermon title, and I was reading, and when I thought of this sermon title, I was not thinking that I would ever stand in front of a whole congregation. I was thinking that I'd probably have this title for this sermon and do this sermon probably with, maybe a men's group or something. And so I titled it, and I never actually did it, but I always thought it was funny, and I was going into it. And you guys want to know what the title is?
Sure.
All right, I'll just tell you. She's saying no. She knows it. The title of this sermon is the Booty Worth It? And the men laughed. And the women are like, what did you do to us, Linus? You have to understand, like I said, when I was thinking of this sermon, I was reading in Numbers. And I know if I'm reading in Numbers, you're really bored, or you're just really trying to be that guy. And I was trying to be that guy. But I was reading in Numbers, and it's Numbers 31, verse 32, and it says, the booty remaining from the plunder, which the men of war had taken, was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 prisoners of all, of women who had not known a man intimately. And now that I've read that without any context at all, it's a very awkward scripture. But hopefully you saw the front part, because it was the New King James Version, and it said the booty. Okay, so that's where I had come up with the title. I could have changed it. I really could have, but it just sounded so much better having to do it this way. I mean, I think you get the point, right? I mean, the booty is spoils of war. I mean, I could have changed it. Matter of fact, I even Googled other words. So maybe I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. I go in there, but we're all family now. And honestly, if I mess up, Linus is going to have to come in and fix all this anyhow. So it's really on him. It's not on me, right? That's the best thing about being a guest speaker. You get to go in, do whatever you want, and then you leave, and the pastor's over there just like, my gosh, what did he do? I'm going to have to fix everything. And if he's watching online right now, he's probably texting somebody. But I Googled other words. Now, I got to say, when I Googled spoils of war. I did not Google other words for booty, because that would have been a whole nother Google search that I definitely do not want to have. So anyway, I Googled it, and I got other words. So under people in the back, if you don't understand where I'm going with the booty joke, it is things like loot, plunder, prize, gain, seizure, trophy. My personal favorite right here. Oh, you don't like this one. Swag. That's right. When you have a battle, you have a war, we have to be thinking a couple steps ahead. They say 4D chess or any kind of, man, I'm good with checkers sometimes, but if we're thinking of along the lines of the battles that we have to face, we have to start to think about the end of it and what kind of swag are we going to walk away with? What kind of plunder are we going to walk away with? Not every battle that we face, we should fight. How many people know that? We keep getting in a lot of battles. We keep getting in a lot of fights. We keep doing a lot of things. And not every one of these battles we should be taking on. Some of us are taking on too many battles at one time. And we have to ask ourselves, is the booty, the plunder, the swag, thank you for laughing. Is it worth? Now you see where it would have just been great with the men. Just men group in there, young men. They'd be like, I got laughs the whole time.
Unfortunately, your daughter's sitting here.
You laugh though. That's what's
So I
great.
don't cry.
Put the camera on her so we can embarrass her on social media, please. But not every battle that we have are we supposed to take on. And I do have biblical examples today, so I'll go into them, all right? One of my favorite people in the Bible is David. How many people just love David? I mean, I just love going through it. And when I'm going into 1 Samuel chapter 17, everybody has probably heard this story. We all know the story of David and Goliath. We know he was a champion. He went from the camp of the Philistines. His name was Goliath, and he was a big dude. He says, choose a man to come and fight me. They were dismayed and they were greatly afraid. And then all of a sudden, here comes David, the little shepherd boy, right? We see this scenario that's getting ready to take place. And I'm not going to just sit here and go through the David and Goliath story because so many people have done this. But there are some things that I wanted to show out of this part right here that really makes me understand what God is trying to show all of us. When I say all of us, it's me included because, like I said, I take on battles that I should not take on sometimes. It said in verse 26, then David spoke to the men who stood by him, saying, what shall be done for the man who kills this Philistine and takes away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? And the people answered him in this manner, saying, so shall it be done for the man who kills him. I love the Bible sometimes because that's verse 26, and it ends with, so shall it be done for the man who kills him. He asked a question, they said, so what? Right? But you got to go back to verse 25. So I'm going backwards now. And it says, so the men of Israel said, have you seen this man who has come up? Surely he has come up to defy Israel. And it shall be that the man who kills him, the king will enrich with great riches, will give him his daughter, and give his father's house from exemption from taxes of Israel. No taxes. Hallelujah. See, David just found out that the reward, the prize, the trophy, the bounty, if he fights and he kills this giant, he knows what swag he's about to walk away with, Ty. He knows what it is because, see, he asked the question, right? First of all, we have to understand David is a young man, but he has got to be mature right now because he is actually asking the question. If I fight this battle, what is my reward? Now, we also know that David wanted to glorify God. We all know that, correct? I'm not trying to take away from the fact that David wanted to glorify God, that he wanted to defeat the giant because this guy has come in, the uncircumcised man, and he's talking all this foul stuff. He wanted to glorify God. But David was smart enough and mature enough at his young age to ask the question, what do I get? How many times have you started a battle in your life and said, what is the reward? I don't know about you, but a lot of times I do not go there. If it's a fight, sometimes we're just ready to fight. If it's a battle, we're just ready to battle. If we're on social media and somebody says something, boy, we are quick to just, I will show you real quick. And we just jump in sometimes. And next thing you know, you are suspended from Facebook or anything else, and you can't figure out why. Was the reward worth it? Probably not. See, he asks this question, and then all of a sudden, in verse 28, it goes into this, and I love the way the Message version has this written. I believe you say his name, and it doesn't really matter. I have a microphone, and if I say it with confidence, you're going to know that I'm saying it correctly. Eliab, his older brother. I'm just going to say his older brother because that's just the way it is. His older brother heard David fraternizing with the men and lost his temper. Family, getting jealous. What are you doing here? Why aren't you minding your own business, tending that scrawny flock of sheep? I know what you're up to. You've come down here to see the sights, hoping for a ringside seat to the bloody battle. Boy, doesn't that sound like family sometimes? Sounds like your friends too, doesn't it? Verse 29 and 30 in the Message, he says this. He says, "What is it with you?" replied David. "All I did was ask a question." Love this. Ignoring his brother, he turned to someone else, asked the same question, and got the same answer as before. So now David has asked twice, right? David is looking here at this battle. He's asking how many times now? Twice. What is the reward? Guess what has happened in this situation? Another battle has come right then at the very same time. His brother is giving him a hard time. His jealous brother is over here saying, "Hey man, what are you doing here? Go back to your little scrawny little job that you got. You're not supposed to be here." He's just going after him right then. David had to make a decision right then. Which battle do I fight? Because sometimes we have multiple battles coming on us, and we have to make the decision on which battle do we put our energy into. Which one is deserving of us getting on our hands and knees and crying out to the Lord and giving everything that we, and just fighting? Which one? Now see, I do believe in this situation, the devil might have had some influence in trying to stop him from doing this one. Because he is about to be in a battle that is going to completely change his life. But his brother comes up and tries to pick a fight with him. What's even more ironic about this, to me, is he could have whooped his brother. I mean, this is his older brother, and he could have whooped him. And there is probably nothing better. Like if you're, I don't have a younger, I mean, I have a younger sister. I don't have an older brother. But if I had an older brother, there probably would have been nothing better in life just to be able to whoop their older brother. How many people got older brothers? Wouldn't it just be awesome just to know that you whooped him? I know Izzy brags all the time whenever she was in Taekwondo that she whooped her brother in Taekwondo. So it must feel real good to be able to whoop your older brother. We know he could have whooped his older brother because he had fought a what? And a lion, tigers, and bears. Oh my! I love the way the Message says this whenever we're getting into that. It says, David said, "I have been a shepherd tending sheep for my father. Whenever a lion, a bear came and took a lamb from the flock, I'd go after it, knock it down, and rescue the lamb. If it turned on me, I grabbed it by its throat, wring its neck, and kill it. Lion or bear, it made no difference. I killed it. And I'll do the same to the Philistine pig who was taunting the troops of God alive. God, who delivered me from the teeth of the lion and the claws of the bear, will deliver me from this Philistine. See, he made his decision. And I kind of wonder in my mind, whenever he was saying this, if he was actually looking at his brother when he was saying it. His brother's trying to, I would have. I mean, David lacked no confidence. That's very clear here, right? I kind of picture everything as a movie. And I think of, if I were to direct that movie, I would tell David, when you say this, I want you to be staring right at your older brother, because he was trying to pick a fight with you right then, just to let him know. What better way to say, get behind me, Satan, right? We all know that when we're going through these battles, there will be another battle that comes on top of the battles, and we have to sit back and be more like David, and we need to be mature enough to figure out which one we are supposed to fight. And when we do that, we have to put all of our energy into it, like David has just done right here. It took real maturity for him to understand that the battle was just put in front of him was literally just a distraction from the one that he was about to take, the one that would change his life. See, I, at one time, was quick to fight. You look like with that big beard, you was quick to fight too. Nobody wears a beard like that was not quick to fight. It's just the way it is. Proverbs 23 says, in the voice version, so if you're trying to keep up, I go through a lot of different ones because it's just who I am. Honor is due to those who refuse to fight at the drop of a hat, but every fool jumps at the opportunity to quarrel. It says a fool is the one that likes to fight all the time. How many people are on social media? I don't even need to ask. Everybody's probably on social media. You get on Facebook. How many people have got the one guy that shows up on your feed, or one girl that shows up on your feed, and it's like they're constantly fighting? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be that they went to Burger King and the fries were not right, and they have like 70 people comment on there talking about how bad Burger King is, and the person there didn't give me enough ketchup, and it's just constant. And then there's someone else comes on there and starts going, and it's just constant. And everybody goes back and forth, especially in the political realm that we're in now. It doesn't matter anymore. It's like you post one thing, then the next, and it's like it's just always a fight. Can I suggest to some people in here that you should probably just unfriend some people? Don't block them, just unfriend them. Do you really know them? I mean, I tell you how bad social media has gotten, and I don't know if I said this last time, but social media has gotten so bad that when I go to events for real estate, I go to events for other things, I sometimes will keep looking and go, I think I know that person. I will pull out my phone and see if we were friends on Facebook. That hit me one day when I was doing, oh yeah, that's Ricky Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
That's Ricky, he's friends with Bobby. I say that all the time. And then it dawns on me, are we truly friends? I mean, if we have social media and we have hit friends, are we friends? We have really kind of ruined the word friends, if you ask me. I mean, I tell my wife and my kids all the time, they're like, you need some more friends. I said, a man needs 5 at most. I got 2 of the 5, but I'm working on the other 3. But realistically, friendship when we were growing up was people who you talked to, people who you battled with, right? People who you could really sit down and have a conversation, and then the next day, especially when you were kids, and wasn't that the greatest time? When we were kids, and we would just go to our friend's house, and as long as we were back before the street light cut on, it was good. But those were friends. You just showed up and you didn't have to say, can we go play? You just start the day. And you just start to, that was what friendship was. We've ruined friend. I'm just going on I should probably quit before Facebook just cuts our live feed off or something. Yeah. Awesome. No, it got cut off one time. But not every battle that comes your way, we have to fight. I use Layla as an example on this. I say this to her every once in a while. I don't think she thinks the joke is as funny whenever I say, "Is the booty worth it?" But we're both in real estate. I'm an auctioneer, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a barber, I'm a father, I'm a good-looking, handsome fella. That's why I wanted to get in front of that camera and do the whole thing. That doesn't sound narcissistic, does it? But Layla she's different than me when it comes to real estate, okay? If you guys ever want somebody that's going to fight for you, it's going to be her. She's going to fight, but we'll have like a deal going on, and the agent on the other side will send over or say, "We want X, Y, Z." And it's the funniest thing in the world because I'm just sitting there watching her. And as soon as she hangs up the phone, she's like, "There ain't no way we're doing no." And she just gets so fired up and she is ready to fight. She's like, "Oh, no, absolutely not. They're going to come in here and ask for that." And she's just like ready to go, especially when she loves the person that she's working for. She is ready to just fight. It's like, that was the lion and the bear, and she's ready to wring their neck. That's just who she is. And I'm sitting there now, and all I could say is, did you ask our client what they think? She's like, "I'm not letting them take it." "No, that is a stupid deal." And she'll just keep on. I go, but our job is, we're kind of in the middle, man. We got to ask. We at least got to ask. And if we ask, then we will let the pit bull off the leash. And you can just go, if they give you permission, then you can go do your thing. As Izzy says sometimes, she does the white girl shuffle, and she would just go after people. It's just the way she is. Don't not give her a drink at a restaurant. She will go in the back and make her own. How many other people do that? You do that?
Heck yeah, I do.
Oh, man.
I hate bad service.
Man, I will be sitting there, and she leg is to kick in. And I'm like, "Oh man, here it comes." I'm trying to get the server's attention because I'm just afraid it's about to happen. And sure enough, she will. She'll go to the back, she'll make a drink, and she'll get everybody else. She might ask another table if they want something too.
I find the service look at me while I'm doing it, not say anything.
That's what happens. And I don't look at anything. I just put my head down into my plate and just get embarrassed. But she's fighting this fight, and then come to find out, almost 99% of the time, we'll ask the client what they want. We'll say, "Hey, this is what they're saying." And the client will go, "Sure, that's fine. We were expecting that." And the reason why is because this client has a goal. This client has a vision. I need to sell this property to buy that property. That's just what they have. Their mind is not thinking like our mind is, how we want to fight. So we have to determine, was the battle going to be worth it? Well, luckily in our job sometimes, we don't have to determine that, because once we talk to the client, we find out that the client just says, "Hey, that's not even worth fighting for. That's like $2,000 and I'm ready to move on." That happens a lot. So what I'm trying to say is, we have to be careful, because sometimes we will start to get so frustrated and so mad and start putting all of our energy into here, when realistically it wasn't even worth it. And now you are just tired. Now you are frustrated. Now you're just mad because you didn't get to fight. Some people just love to do that. We have to be careful. So how do we know what battles to fight? It's 11:45, and it is a beautiful day out there today, isn't it? I was told at the door, I hope this is short.
10:45.
I got the time. I'm looking at it.
You said 11.
Is it 11?
You said 11.
Did I?
Yeah.
All right, then. I'll go until 11:45 then. I'll just slow it down. Really slow and boring. How do we determine what battles we should fight? Well, I guess we have to go to the Bible. What were the spoils of war used for after a battle? Give you 3 examples today, and there's so many more that you can go ahead and start to use, but this will give you, hopefully, a foundation of how you can start to determine which battles are worth the fight. One of them I got when I was, once again, talking about David. David had many battles. He had lots of spoils. I mean, David was rich. David had a lot of money. David wanted to use all of the spoils of war to build the temple. In 1 Chronicles, on chapter 22, I believe it is, he talks about how the spoils were supposed to be used to build the temple. Now, he knew he wasn't supposed to build the temple. He heard the voice of the Lord talk to him and tell him this. He knew his son was going to build the temple. But what I'm gathering out of this right here, whenever I'm thinking of the spoils of war being used to build the temple, one thing you always have to ask yourself is, does it edify and build the church? Okay? And I'm not just talking about this building here, although it should be a part of your mind and your process of thinking on your battles. Would this help this body grow? Would this help this body become who it is intended to be? So whenever you're about to battle it out on Facebook, you're about to battle it out in life, you're about to get into a big quarrel and fight over something, ask yourself, could I possibly be arguing or fighting or doing something with this person that possibly could show up at church and want to give their life to Christ, and it happens to be this church, and he comes in and then sees me and then says, no, I'm not doing that? Does it edify the church? Does it make Christianity look like something that they want to be a part of? How many people realize that they are watching you? They watch your life. They want to see how you are going to react to battles, how you're going to react to the situations. They want to see what you do because people are watching you because you have something that they want and they don't even realize that you have it. So we need to think about that before we start our battle. Is there, I look at athletes. Athletes must have another gear. They must have something because when you make that pro level, when you're making it even the college level, there is a certain switch that must turn on. And it doesn't matter what sport it is. They have something. They have what they call the it factor. Coaches talk about that. He's got that it factor. He's got that dog in him. He's got that swag. 6'7". All right, I had to make him laugh. He hasn't been feeling good. The athletes have that little something that you want, right? We are supposed to have the same thing. Look at the businessmen and women who really succeed in life. How many people here are in business? Want to be in business? Look at business. 2 people, 3 people. Now, do you study and look at and watch other businesses? When you go into a business, I bet you can't go into a business without sitting there saying, you know what I would do if I owned this place? Isn't that the worst feeling? I tell you what I'd do if I was in here. I'd clean that bathroom. That would probably be a good start because some of them are nasty. But business people, successful ones, they have a little something. Shark Tank, I love watching Shark Tank. These people have a different gear. They have something, and as a business person, you look at it and you want it. But how many people were in the military? Okay? Thank you. Special Forces people. You were in the military. You probably saw them. They got a screw loose. But it works.
Yes.
Does it not? It works. It's like they have this different gear that a lot of other people, me, I wasn't in the military, but I look at that and go, oh, I wish I had that. I wish I had that gear. It's like you put a goal out there, they set their mind to it, and they go and they do it and they get it done, and they come back like it was just another day at work, and they just sit there. Let's go do it again. There is something about people like that that make you want to be like that. Why have we not tapped into this as Christians? There's a lot of people out there that will look at Christianity and say, why would I want to be like that? I saw the way that person treated that server. It's Sunday. He just went to church. He threw his hands up and then came in here and left a dime, a nickel, and half a penny for a tip. Why would I want to be that way, especially the way they just treated that server? They're watching. They know. Servers will sit there and tell you that Sundays are the worst. It's the worst because all the church people come in. Can you? I just can't imagine. I love this poll. So many jokes just went through my mind, and I'm not going to say it. Not one. It's a sad situation that's been going on for years. That servers say that they hate Sundays because the Christians come in. It saddens me that we have not shown a good example to the world. Now, there's a lot of reasons that we probably don't show good examples to the world. It's the battles that we're facing, and sometimes we think about our battles that we're facing more than we're thinking about the people watching us in the battle, right? We're so consumed by what we're going through that we don't see. We're like the horses with the things. What are those things called? The blinders. That's what we are when we're in our battle, which can be a good thing, but it's a bad thing when we know other people are watching us and we are giving them a bad taste. We're becoming a stumbling block for them. So when we decide which battle we are going to fight, we always need to remember that it needs to edify the church. It needs to make us look like we are what we were talking about with those other people, that we have a different gear. When you have something going through your life, that you can still approach it positive. It's hard. It really is hard. But are we not taught in the Bible that the battle is not ours? And if it's not ours, whose is it? If it's the Lord's, and He is who we believe He is, should we not somehow be able to fight these fights with a little bit of positivity? The game is fixed. And I'm not talking about all the NBA players that just got busted for gambling and all this other stuff. If nobody knows, you can Google it. There's a lot of people getting busted for that, fixing games and stuff. But the game is actually fixed. This game is fixed. The Lord wins. Does that mean we're going to win every battle? Probably not. But we can walk into every single battle knowing that something good is going to come out of it if I have determined that the Lord has said, fight this one because spoils are going to be worth it. The other thing that they use the spoils for was when it comes down to David's son. And it said the spoils, because there were so many after they built this temple, there were so many that David had, and then his son went to war and he gets them too. They were to be used to repair the temple. What is the temple? Anybody? There you go. We are the temple. Old Testament, they were talking about a building, but New Testament tells us that we are the temple of God. So we have to know that the battles that we are going to fight should be able to help us be restored. be fixed. Is this one here worth it? Am I going to get enough out of this fight that when I walk out of here, I am going to be stronger? If you think of yourself as a house and you have a roof with a hole in it and it's leaking, and a lot of us sometimes have a leaky roof. We got some broken pipes. We've got all sorts of damage in our house, in our temple. But if you know you're about to fight a fight, when you walk out of that fight, you're going to have enough money to not just repair the roof, but you can fix the plumbing, that you can fix the mold under the house, whatever it is in your life. That is worth the fight. If you are about to go into a battle and you look at it and you say, no, I don't think that's going to make me any better than what I am right now, then I would probably suggest you turn and you look around, because there's probably another battle that you're supposed to be fighting right now that is going to lead you to your destination and lead you to where you're supposed to be. The other ones are just distractions. If you're going to try to fight this fight and you're going to walk out more wounded than you were before, then why fight it? You want to go into the church and you want to start going after people and you want to start talking to this way and that way, and I don't know where that came from. Will that make you a better person? Will it make you feel better? Probably not. I mean, it does feel good sometimes to go off on somebody, but did it do anything to the temple? No. Instead of fighting the fight like that, what you could do is you could go, hey, can we have a conversation? It's not a battle at that point. If you have an offense, instead of just going off or gossiping or going behind everybody's back and doing all these other things, why not just pull that person aside and say, hey, listen, I'm going through something here. You said some things. I heard it come back to me. I want to get your side of the story. Because that happens way too many times. You get one side of a story, everybody's hearing it, and it's like you got to choose. You choose over here, and everybody chooses over here, and that person's stuck over there, and that person didn't even get to talk its talk, tell you what really happened. So you end up with offenses, and so you're battling things that are not doing good to the body, to the temple. So we know that we have to edify the church with what we're battling. We know we have to have, we know that each battle should give us enough bounty at the end of it. I'm trying to see. I changed the bounty this time. We know that the bounty, the reward, should give us enough to repair this temple. And then when I go back to that crazy numbers, when I kind of went through this, the one that was out of context, and it was really weird, but I went back to that battle at the time, and I love this one right here because it says, the spoils were not only for those who fought, but they actually shared those spoils. In verse 27, it said, divide the plunder into two parts between those who took part in the war and who went into battle and all the congregation. See, most of the time, I'll just use that. Most of the time, the spoils only belong to those who fought, the soldiers, people who went to war. But here, God commanded that the plunder be divided between the soldiers and the congregation. It says that the half that belonged to the congregation was 367,500 sheep, 36,000 cattle. I'm not going to keep going on and on about what it was. I can tell you this, that commentaries, whenever I was reading about that, when it was talking about what they got on those spoils that were just for that congregation, a lot of them think that there might have been a typo, so to speak, because there was no possible way that they had that much that was divided, not just to the soldiers who fought, but to the congregation that they got to give it to. Is the battle that you are going to fight going to give enough of a reward that is not just going to bless you, but it's going to bless others? If you're going to go out and you're going to open up a business, you cannot think, I'm going to open up this business because it is going to bless me financially. I'm going to be rich. We have to know that you're going to be going into that business because you have a different mind frame as a Christian, that you're going to be rich and then you're going to be able to make other people rich. Right? So we have to understand that in order for us to be what the New Testament says, which is more than a conqueror. How many people want to be more than a conqueror? I want to be more than a conqueror. And if I'm going to be more than a conqueror, that means that when I go into battle, that I'm not just going to walk in and get what I get, but I'm going to get what I get, and it's going to be enough for everybody. So we need to know that you are not just fighting for yourself. You're fighting for other people. And how does that happen? Well, if we are battling, and I'll tell you right now, we battle right now with my buddy Ty. He's been sick for 5-6 weeks. Spent some time in Vanderbilt. We don't know what's going on. We have no clue. Doctors can't tell us. Matter of fact, they told us to leave. They're, just leave. We don't know what's going on. Good luck. Thank you. What do you call it? The Babylon system? Thank you, medical field. Don't tell us anything. Just tell us to go on our way. But when I was thinking about this being more than a conqueror, going through what we were going through, praying for him, asking others to pray with us for the healing and to be able to find out what is going on and what is causing the situation, I am thinking in my mind, yes, I want to conquer this battle and I want to win for him and I want to win for her and my other son. I want to do that. But at the same time, I'm also thinking, how magnificent will it be that when this healing takes place, that we're going to have a testimony, and there's going to be other families out there that are going through the same thing, and what we are telling them, and how we went through this, and how we have gone outside the Babylon system or anything else, and how he has gotten healed through the grace of God, that all of a sudden, maybe it'll open up a door on this side where other families are going, I was going through that. What happened? Well, guess what we got? We got so much swag, so much plunder over here because we beat this thing that we are going to give you all of what we know right here. Isn't that how a battle is supposed to be? That when you win that thing, that you can walk over here and you can teach the next person on how to win. And not only can you teach them how to win, you've got all the resources right here. This is what I used. Bam. You need a little money? I got plenty of that too because I got a lot of it here too. Bam. That's how we determine what battles we are supposed to fight. Leave the others alone. Just stop. They're a distraction from where you are supposed to go. Once you learn what battle you are supposed to fight, my last piece of advice to you is this. It's deep. You guys ready for it? Battle comes your way. What are you supposed to do? Fight. Pretty simple. You fight that battle. And it makes it a lot easier to fight that battle when you know what the reward is, just like David. I got a friend. We were talking about special forces. I call him a friend. We literally just met, but I swear, I think he's a friend now. He's like a friend. He was in the special forces, Army. He was a Green Beret. He was one of what they call horse soldiers. How many people know what the horse soldiers were? After 9/11, there's a movie about it. They actually had to ride horses to get to where they were going. He was one of them. I mean, he was, I think they said there was 33, but 13 went, and he was one of the 13 that went. And I was talking to him about this because I was fascinated by it. And it was kind of funny. He said, some of us rode horses, but some of us was mules and donkeys. And he said, I guess horse soldiers sounds better than horse mules, or soldier mules or whatever it was, soldier. But anyway, he was telling me about another story. And apparently a Navy SEAL had been captured, and he was a part of the unit. He was a part of the unit that was going in to save this Navy SEAL. Okay? He's telling me this story, and I'm just like kid listening to it. It's like fascinating hearing it, right? He was the lead man, and they're somewhere, and they're in a hallway or something, and he said, I felt like a basketball just hit me right in my face. He goes, you ever had a bat? I said, yeah. And I'm about to tell him the story of when I got hit with a basketball one time. I got in a fight, and I learned real quick, you just shut up and listen to a man's story when he's telling you a story, right? Apparently, a bullet had hit him in his chest plate, and ricocheted, came up and hit him right in his face. He was shot. I'm not going to get into the graphic details of what a special force person will tell you on what he was telling me about getting shot, but I can tell you this. He didn't realize that he had been shot. Ricocheted, came out, things were bad. He happened to look over at the other guys that were in his unit. They told him to quit wiping his face. He just thought it was sweat. They're shooting, they're going. He's lead man. They tell him, no, grab onto me. We're leading now, and he can't figure it out, but it hits him. I've been shot in the face. He's had 5 reconstructive surgeries. All of his teeth have been, this is, to me, I'm over here thinking, well, what did you do? I mean, you're shot. He said, I grabbed onto the guy in front of me. We got handles. And he said, and we just continued down the hallway, and we just kept shooting and fighting. I said, dude, you were shot. You were shot, and you just kept fighting? And he said something that I'll never forget, and I've heard it before, but I'll never forget it from this story. He said, man, when you're in the fight, you got to keep fighting. When you're in the midst of it, you can't just say, time out, I've been shot. Give me a few minutes to clean this all up, and then I'll get back into the battle. No. He had some people around him that took the lead, and sometimes that's going to happen in your battles. You might not be able to be the lead in that battle, but you are going to have people around you. Surround yourself with a good team of people that whenever you get shot, whenever you get fatigued, whenever you feel like I can't go any further, that there is somebody right here to pick up the slack and say, grab onto my back and keep fighting with me. So you can't stop. Just because my brother here is going to help me fight doesn't mean that I get to go off to Florida and enjoy the vacation because I just know that he's going to take it over. No, I have got to fight with him. I might be hurt. I might be tired. I might not want to do it anymore. But you know what? He is now taking the lead, and I grab it onto him. And if you can't be the one to lead, find somebody else that can. Be there for each other, because you never know what somebody else is going through. You guys ever stopped and asked yourself, we've all met the person who's mean, and you're going, what is wrong with that person? And you don't even realize you're kind of mad at them as well. And I'm going to leave you with this piece of advice. And we've heard it before, but we don't know what other people are going through. We don't know. You might think that person is ignoring you, that he's mean, that it's something, but we don't know what that person is going through. We don't know the battle that person is trying to fight at that particular point. And you also don't know and don't realize, but we should, that maybe we were sent there right then, not to be a distraction, but to be the man that looks at him and says, hey, hold on. Hold on to my back. You keep fighting, but hold on, because I'll help lead the way. That's what Christianity is supposed to be, is it not? I want to leave you with that one, because I truly believe that we are in a season of battles, and we're going to see a lot more of them. So let's determine which ones we're supposed to fight, and let's be there for each other to help whenever that person starts getting tired. Amen? Well, I don't know what time it is. I think I got my 30 minutes in, maybe.
11:11.
Oh, I did a little quicker, right? Who cares? It's a beautiful day out there. You guys, I want to bless you. Go out there and enjoy before we start hitting these 30-degree weather again with not being able to see the sun for months. It's going to feel like. Go out there. Is it vitamin D when you get the sun? Let's get our vitamin D. Let's get healthy. Let's go out there and let's battle and let's fight and let's choose the ones accordingly. All right? Amen? Lord, I ask you to bless these people, Lord. I ask you to keep them safe as they're getting ready to go out into the world. I ask you to give us the maturity. I ask you to give us the wisdom on which battles to fight, Lord, because we know that in order to be more than a conqueror, we actually have to go out and we have to conquer and we have to battle. But Lord, we also know that there are times where distractions are trying to come in. So we ask that you will just give us the wisdom, give us the peace on which ones to fight. And Lord, give us the energy, give us the strength to not just battle for ourselves, but to be able to battle for our loved ones and to be there for other people as well. Lord, let us go out and glorify your name. And we ask all of it in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Thank you guys so much.